Acoustic musical instruments are common throughout the world. Simply put, an acoustic instrument is any instrument that makes sound. This lecture will introduce you to an acoustic instrument invented in the 20th century. Its name is the steel pan. Often it is simply called the pan or steel drum, and it is played by musicians in a steel band. The steel pan is both an instrument and a form of music which originated in the country of Trinidad in the West Indies. It was a Trinidadian by the name of Winston Spree Simon who first discovered the instrument. That was in 1939. He was beating an old oil drum with a corn cob, and obviously he liked the sound. He discovered that different areas on the surface of the drum created different notes. In the 1960s, the steel pan underwent further innovations. A drum called the fourths and fifths was introduced. The fourths and fifths drum could produce a much broader scale than previous steel pans. This allowed even more different kinds of music to be played. Also, the appearance of the steel pan instrument itself changed. Wheels were added to the pans, and they were also covered with canopies. These canopies were covers that protected the pans and the players from the hot sun. If you've ever been to the West Indies and under the Caribbean sun, you'll know how important it is to be in the shade. I was there last winter, and if I wasn't swimming in the ocean, I was sitting under a canopy listening to steel pan music. I highly recommend it. Now, steel pan as a musical form has also undergone many changes. The first pan band dates back to 1940. These first bands were rhythm bands, mostly for dancing to. However, during the 1940s, techniques were developed that enabled melodies to be played. This meant that a steel pan performance could be the focus of a concert rather than an accompaniment to a dance. These first steel pan melodies became known as panyards. Panyards, then, are melodies played on steel pans, but this word also refers to the areas or yards where steel pan music is played. Both meanings of panyard were and still are important to communities in the West Indies. By the 1940s, steel pan music had spread from Trinidad to other nearby West Indian islands. In 1951, steel pan was played for the first time outside of the islands when the Trinidad All-Steel Percussion Orchestra played at the Festival of Britain in the United Kingdom. Now, as you all know, I hope, steel pan is popular across the globe. In fact, let's listen to some right now to end the class.